Okay. How about now? Can you see me now? I think I figured it out, guys. I am just so silly and I don't understand how technology works. So I'm hoping that it's working. I'm like madly refreshing on my phone trying to figure this out. Okay, great. Excellent. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome. Sorry about that. I as you can see by the watermark on the screen here, I'm trying to figure out Ecamm Live to see if I can use this to stream moving forward. I don't know why this is so small. But lots of like technological things I don't understand that I need to figure out. So bear with me tonight while we use this as sort of like an experiment to see what's going on. Frig, I want the chat on the screen, but this isn't working. So anyways, how's everybody doing? Let me know while I mess around with this thing. Let me know how your day is going. Let me know what's up, what's up. How's everybody feeling? I'm moving like the wrong stuff. There's so many of me. Okay. Anyways, welcome. I am excited to be here. Thank you. I don't know how to highlight comments. I don't know how to do anything. So we're learning all of this together. Also, there is a feature that I added. If someone wants to unsubscribe and then resubscribe to my channel, I want to test to see if it'll pop up on the screen. Somebody volunteers tribute. I'm going to have the chat open on my phone just because this is really annoying. I don't know why it's so small. And when I try to make it bigger, then I can't move it. Welcome to Technical Difficulties 101. Population, me. Maybe this button? Ah, there we go. Okay, maybe I'll move this. I don't know where the best place is for this. This background isn't very forgiving. Anyways, let me just see what's up. Thank you, Hillary. So far, I don't see anything. I don't see any pop-ups. Wah, wah, wah. So I went live yesterday and I was like just chilling. And I was like, oh, I'm going to test the software. And I didn't test the software. So now y'all watching this video are my guinea pigs. I don't think it's working, this alert thing, because it's supposed to pop up over here and I don't see it unless there's a delay, maybe. I need friends that know what they're doing so they can teach me how to make stuff on the internet. Oh, we have a visitor. Hi, Budsy. Oh, he went immediately to sleep on the floor. There it is. It worked. Awesome. Okay, so hopefully with this, the intention why I switched to this new software, sorry, this is like a 5-minute of just me babbling. Basically, I've been using Restream up until now to do my live streams, which is great. But when someone joins my membership during the live stream, it doesn't notify me. And I get really irritated. So I wanted to switch to something a little bit more interactive, a little bit more exciting. Not loving this chat feature. Think we might get rid of it for today. And I'll just watch the chat on my phone. So still need to figure out how I can like highlight people's comments like I would in Restream and that kind of thing. But for now, we're making do with what we've got. Okay, let me get caught up on the comments here. When I'm looking at my phone, I'm really just trying to figure out my life, okay? Thank you, Hillary, for your help. It worked. Excited about that. Okay, I'm looking through your videos. I need recommendations to send to my friend. I talked her out of flying to Miami for a My Daily Choice MLM, but now she's hooked up with a coach and she's getting 3 weeks free. She doesn't know how or why it's a scam. I would maybe send her my like MLM coaching video that I did a few weeks ago. Or if you go back to like my original content, like as in like the very first few coaching videos that I created, there's one in particular, and I think the thumbnail says like, are you a scammer? And it basically talks about, the things to look out for in terms of whether or not the person you're working with is a scammer. And so it's like 10 minutes long, very straight to the point. And that might be a good starting spot for someone like that who maybe doesn't know a lot about the industry and doesn't know what to look out for. Anyways, that being said, okay, so maybe this isn't working because this isn't working. I don't know. Anyway, today we're going to be listening to a podcast from a woman. I don't know her name. I don't really care what her name is. But her ads on Instagram kept popping up for me. And it was basically like, I made $1 million. Let me teach you the 7 steps to how I made $1 million. So I thought we could have a look at her website and then we will listen to the podcast. And I think the podcast is about 45 minutes long. I haven't even listened to the first 5 seconds of it. So who knows how that's going to be. But we're going to suffer through it all together. So let me just mess around here and see if I can figure out how to do anything. Thank you to the mods for keeping things straight while I try not to have a panic attack over here figuring out what I'm doing. Cool. It worked. Can you believe it? Okay, so again, I don't know this girl's name. I don't care what her name is. This is her website. I figured we would start here so we can kind of get a feel for what kind of person we're talking about. So as you can see here, it says you don't need more time or money. Sorry, I can't read. You don't need more time, money, or knowledge to create the life you want. You just need to trust your magic. Wow, did you guys know that in order to be successful, you don't actually need money or time? You can just do it. You can just create it with magic. News to me. Okay. Then she has a free download where we can launch our business in 3 days. Well, we absolutely know. Oh, wait, I should use my fake name. We should definitely sign up for this. Maybe we can check that out after we listen to this podcast and learn how to become millionaires. Gonna need that. Her text needs better contrast. Yeah. This isn't even the worst. This light blue color. Because if we scroll down, there's pink. I can barely read that. Hi there, blah, blah, blah. Business activation coach for the rogue black sheep badass women. Rogue black sheep badass women of color ready to do it their way. Perfect. So we're targeting minorities specifically. I love to see that. Absolutely my favorite. In 2020 and nearly $500,000 in revenue ago, the pandemic hit and I lost my job as a single mom already living under the poverty line. Okay, so now we're not only measuring time in terms of the calendar, we're also measuring time in terms of money. So, for example, I sold two people signed up for my online course today. Woohoo. So I made, what's that? $54. So I'm no longer going to refer to this morning as this morning. I'm going to refer to it as $54 ago. So $54 ago, I woke up and I took my dog for a walk. Who does this? What is happening? Oh my God. I feel like every day that passes, these people get more and more ridiculous with the terms that they use. Hi. Not knowing a thing about the coaching industry, but with lots of gusto and some ginormous feminine balls, I decided to launch my very own coaching business. Okay, I feel like this person has obviously written their copy in a way to appeal to a very specific audience. However, I am not that audience. With lots of gusto and some ginormous feminine balls. Hi. With tons of trial and error, mindset reframing, inner work, and owning my magic, I created the Social Reset podcast and launched Business Activation Academy to help others launch the coaching business of their dreams. So again, this Social Reset podcast is the one I got the ad for, and that's what we're going to be listening to today. My work is designed exclusively for the coach that couldn't play by the rules, even if they wanted to, by the one who gets it. For the kids that always talked way too much in school, went rogue each chance they got, the black sheep of the family, yet a heart of gold and big dreams. You made it. You're in the right place. Blah, 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 blah. So where's her about page? Maybe that will give us, it's probably, okay. Before we read this, let's make our guesses in the chat as to what the rags to riches story is going to be. I know she mentioned she was already a single mom, so I guess the rags to riches is like single mom on food stamps that built a multi-million-dollar empire. But I'd love to hear your guesses while I get caught up in the chat. 7 months ago. There's no way she wrote this copy herself. Hard to say, honestly. Yeah, I wish I could figure out how to highlight your comments on screen, but Demi says, how does anyone take this seriously? It just makes me laugh because it's so silly and ridiculous. That's kind of my point, is like, okay, I understand you write your copy to speak to a specific person, but who is the person that reads this and thinks like, yeah, that sounds great. I'm going to hire her. Because for me, it's just like, it's not it. Very true. So Harrison is saying she seems like she's targeting people who see themselves as outcasts and also won't talk themselves out of the red flags of her program. So I would agree with that. So hi there. I help humans launch their coaching business by trusting their own magic. Okay, so no longer do we need to start a business by learning the actual principles of business. Instead, we can start a business by learning magic. I love that. I always love when we are rooted in fantasy and just say fuck it to reality. Pardon my curse words. My vision for you is to step into your highest self concept and sell with your highest client concept. Huh? My vision for you is to, can you guys even, sorry, I just realized that this might not be, is that better? My vision for you is to step into your highest self concept and sell with your highest client concept. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense to me. Okay, my vision for you is to step into your highest self. Okay, so we become, the best version of ourselves and sell with your highest client concept. So then we're selling to like the highest version of our client. Aren't we usually selling to the people that feel bad about themselves? I'm really confused. If someone understands this better than me, please let me know in the chat. You know your worth, set boundaries, and make decisions as the highest version of yourself. You have been shown a vision that only you can see straight from your secret sauce. It's time to bring it to life. Live the life you've always dreamed by starting your coaching business. Okay, I'm so confused. This is her about me page, and she hasn't even introduced herself. She's literally just saying, become a coach. Live the life you've always dreamed by starting your coaching. Oh, who are you? Okay, here we go. I got a little ahead of myself. Sorry about that. Just 3 years ago, I was struggling, broke AF, mom on food stamps, I called it, and woman of color, barely scraping by, making $19 an hour, plus multiple side hustles. I still couldn't afford rent here in the SF Bay Area, California. I truly believed I would never be able to own a home, own a car, or give my daughter a great childhood. Fast forward to a coaching business, unlimited time flexibility, and $500,000 in sales revenue later. I went from unemployed and broke to thriving and abundant because I made a choice. If you're here, you're ready to do the same. Wait, you just said you were making $20 an hour, and then you said you were unemployed. So which story is it? Why can they never figure out the narrative to stick to? I don't understand. Just catching up on the comments. Okay, I want to address this, and Monica, I'm not attacking you. And I've mentioned this in other videos. But the like pricing end in 7 or 9 that we see all of these coaches do, I know we all make fun of it, and I always make fun of like the angel numbers when they price their programs like 111 or 2222. But there is psychology behind pricing your products that end in a 7 or 9, because it seems like psychologically, it seems like you're getting a better deal if the product is priced that way. That's the same reason why when you go to the store, items are like $9.99 versus $10, because as the consumer, you believe you're getting a better deal. So I'm just throwing that out there. That's not something that I usually point out in my videos, just because there is sales psychology behind why people price products like that. However, I will say the coaching industry has really ruined it for everyone. But the angel number thing, I will absolutely make fun of because it's just so ridiculous. She has this set up in a very confusing way, not a great way to attract clients, in my opinion. That's kind of what I was thinking, is like, back when I used to have like a proper website, like right now, if you go to my website, it's just a landing page that like very briefly describes who I am. But back when I was like, even with my yoga business, trying to actively get clients, I had an about me page where I literally like told my origin story from start to finish. And then at the end of the about me page is where I would pitch like how people could work with me. So it seems very confusing to have like a, hey, I help people, you should become a coach, by the way, here's my story, and then I assume she's gonna like pitch us again at the bottom. Like it doesn't really make a lot of cohesive sense, in my opinion. It seems very chaotic. San Francisco is like Vancouver pricing, last I heard. So I live in Vancouver, and my partner and I are potentially thinking about moving to San Francisco, a story for another day. But I will say the rent in San Francisco is still like significantly higher than it is here. So a 1 bedroom, I would guess if you wanted to live downtown, you'd probably be paying like $3,000 Canadian. In San Francisco, you'd probably be paying like 4,000 US for a 1 bedroom if you wanted to live in like a nice area. So as far as I know, it's still expensive, but like Vancouver is Canada's most expensive city for sure. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with the comments. Totally agree. Ending in a 7 or a 9 is psychology. Using angel numbers is faith manipulation. And it's just like perpetuated by the industry, I think, because no one ever actually teaches proper pricing structure. Like, how do you actually come up with the price for a product or an offer? Instead, you just like make up a number that sounds cool, like 333 or something, and tell people that triple threes is a sign from the universe that you're where you're supposed to be, or some BS. Interesting, Lindsay. I didn't know that. I don't shop at Costco. But that's actually really funny that she says if a price ends in 7, it means it's being cleared out and not reordered. Riley Black says she's targeting a very specific audience, coaches who attended the life coach school or have hired coaches who've come out of that school. Interesting. So do you know this individual, like not know this individual personally, but do you know if this individual took Brooke Castillo's certification? Like, was she a student of the life coach school? I would be curious to know. Okay. Back to where I was at. You're probably reading this thinking, I need a niche, I need more time, you don't get it, my life has XYZ going on right now, there will always be an excuse not to, and honestly, I'd never know. You can click away from this page and I'd never be the wiser. But you're here for a reason. Honor that, even if it's just acknowledging that there is that magic within you that's itching to come alive and that you have the power to unleash it. You are chosen by your secret sauce to share your unique story, voice, and purpose with your people. I don't like that term, secret sauce. Makes me think of literal like mayonnaise. This is your medicine. The world needs it. And she's an official member of the Forbes Coaches Council. What is that? Forbes Coaches Council is an invitation-only, fee-based organization, that's a red flag, of leading business and career coaches. So you just apply. So who friggin' cares? Interesting. So Riley says she was a student of Stacy Bowman's $200,000 mastermind. Yikes. Okay, so then on the side here, sorry, I skipped this. A few things I'm known for: teaching women how to celebrate their success in non-traditional ways, growing from scratch on Instagram as a content creator, and partnering with big brands. So are you an influencer or a coach? Many career paths I tried before this one. Can you say online marketer, author, content creator, coach? Helping see people see their hidden potential where often their own mind is blocking them. I hate it here. Yeah, you have to pay to be in this Forbes. It says invite only fee-based organization. So it's just like how you can pay your way to be in Forbes in general. Words I live by: change your thoughts, change your life. Okay, here we go. Here's the timeline. So in 2009, I started my first business at 14 by publishing my novel and its sequel at 16. That's actually pretty cool. I will give her credit. I can't say I've ever written a book, although I have a book coming. It's called, what's it called? I Hate It Here and Why You Should Too. Harrison, let me know. Let me know what the title is you came up with for my new book that's coming out who knows when. This is a joke. I'm not actually writing a book. 2010, social media was just becoming a thing. Little did I know how impactful it would be. That's not true at all. Okay, dating myself here. I was in high school in 2006, and we definitely had Facebook when I was in grade 9. So social media wasn't really just becoming a thing in 2010. I would say it was pretty, like, at least YouTube and Facebook would have been pretty well established by 2010. Also, Instagram came out in like 2008. So anyways, I'm being nitpicky. Graduated high school and embarked some long years of college as a communication major. My daughter was born. It was a beautiful yet overwhelming and liberating time. 2017, I was juggling 2 jobs while attending 2 colleges and raising my daughter. I thought you were unemployed, so which story is it? 2018, I quit a job I didn't love to work at another job. Then I'd then be fired from. The corporate life was draining. 2020, became a social media coach, found my calling and true passion. I now get to coach women all over the world and teach them how to grow their dream business. Okay, so you never actually had a business, though. You just got fired from your job and then decided to coach people on social media. Something doesn't add up to me. Hi, yay. DC, I need you to SOS help me after I get off this stream because I don't know what I'm doing here. DC says, is that like an invite only fee based credit card? I was actually having this conversation with my partner the other day about the Amex Black or Platinum, whatever the like super exclusive American Express card is. There's this guy who's Canadian on TikTok. If you're in Canada, you might have seen him. He brags about how rich he is. He always talks about driving his Rolls Royce and his G-Wagon and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he got invited into the like American Express, again, Black, Platinum, I don't know because I'm not rich. And he's bragging about that. And we were talking about how like it's invite only, but then you have to spend like a minimum of $1 million a year. And then you have to pay this like crazy fee. And it's just like, what's the point? Who cares? Who cares what kind of freaking credit card you have? Like, so dumb, in my opinion. Sorry, I get heated when I think about things like this. Shameless plug. Join us for National Novel Writing Month in November. That's what, NaNoWriMo or something like that? One of my friends does it. MySpace is where it was at in the 2000s. Exactly. Yeah, DC, I'm using Ecamm for the first time and I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know how to get like the chat to pop up. Well, I had this chat, but it looks like this. Wait, I don't know where it went now. If people start typing, maybe it'll show up. Anyway, the chat looked really ugly, so I took it off the screen. I don't know how to pin comments. I don't know how to do anything. I haven't paid for this program yet because I want to make sure that I like it before I commit. But so far I'm just hella confused. So we love that for me. Anyway, sorry about that. Side note, let me continue. So then she talks about her favorite dessert. I don't really care. 150 happy clients, 4 published works. Would be curious to know if these published works include the 2 books she wrote when she was 14 that have nothing to do with her coaching business. 50 speaking events, 1 to 2 energy drinks per day. Oh my God, so relatable and quirky. I'm so glad she put that on her website. Random things. I'm a girl of words, a words girl. My love language is words of affirmation. Blah, 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 blah. Let's launch your coaching business. Start your coaching business, working with paid clients, receive lifetime access. Okay. So that was the weirdest About Me page ever. She should absolutely hire a copywriter to fix this because I'm so lost and confused. Click on the chat and it will come on the screen. See, like I'm using a Streamlabs extension. I don't need that. Is that what you're telling me? Because the only other thing is this stupid, maybe it's because I'm using a stream key because I couldn't get it to connect to my YouTube. I'm going to DM you after this and you're going to help me. I want to see the number of unhappy clients. Exactly. That's what I want to see too. Lindsay, you and I both. Lindsay says I had 4 shots of espresso today. And so did I. Okay, moving along. Do we want to look at her offer? I guess we could do that, and then we'll listen to the podcast. So this is her, oh my God, who was complaining about the web design earlier because I want to file another complaint. This flashing thing, horrible, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe some people like this. If it was in like black, maybe, then I could actually see it. But the blue on blue isn't doing it for me, okay? What if launching your coaching business was never about the perfect timing, a bigger audience, or more knowledge, and is about trusting the magic that's been inside of you all along? So once again, we do not need to know how to actually run a business. No, 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 no. Oops, fat fingers. Sorry about that. Instead, all we need to do is believe in the magic. Also, this like overlay, I don't know. I really don't like it. I know this isn't relevant to why this is kind of scammy, but your chat on the screen is easier to read than her website. Good one. If I could highlight your comment, I would. Enroll now. Business Activation Academy is the only program you'll need to launch your coaching business from scratch. Of course it is. I can pretty much guarantee you right now that if all we're going to learn is how to believe in magic, that you're going to need a lot more than just this coaching program in order to launch your coaching business. That is assuming you actually want to make some money. That little whisper that dares you to believe you're meant for more than your day job you drag yourself to each morning. This is the nudge of your secret sauce. Here we go again. Your secret sauce, the magic that within that's destined to serve hundreds of souls, chose you for a reason. It knows your magic is medicine to the people who need to hear your story, your voice, your wisdom. Okay, so this is a very good example of what I talk about in a lot of my videos. And it's this concept of people in the coaching industry who tend to have this like higher sense of self or sense of importance rather, which in my opinion is sort of borderline into like the narcissistic space. Not saying these people have NPD so much as just saying they exhibit, in my opinion, certain narcissistic tendencies of like, I am so important, I have an important message to share, I am meant to do X, Y, and Z, and I should go and grace everyone with my presence as a favor to them to help them improve their lives because I'm so amazing and I have so many great important things to share. And I say that because it's like this concept of, you know, you were meant for more than your job and people need to hear your story and your voice and your wisdom. And I'm not saying that as people, like, we don't have important things to say and that there isn't value in sharing your story. I mean, I have a whole freaking channel here on YouTube where I just talk about nothing and you guys listen to me. But it's not coming from a place of like self-importance, thinking like, I'm so much better than all of you. You need to listen to what I have to say. I find it really interesting that we're jumping right into this, because I think this really appeals to those people who have that, like, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but it's like a higher sort of like they're on their high horse, basically. I also think she's replaced the word purpose with secret sauce. So this is the nudge of your purpose. Like they say, your purpose. We all have to have this like greater purpose beyond ourselves. Your purpose is the magic, blah, 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 blah. Hopefully that made sense. Let me see what your thoughts are. Like, so ghetto as I'm just like reading this on my phone while Julie Joe is messaging me on Instagram. Danielle, what software do you use to go live? Don't take my advice. I don't know what I'm doing. What does a disco ball and cleavage have to do with anything? That's the other thing too. And this isn't like definitely not the only coach I've seen do this. I can think of like a few off the top of my head who have these like ridiculous photo shoots where they're just doing like the silliest things to try and seem like quirky and relatable, I think, and then use it in all of their branding. Like I do a photo shoot once a year for even now, like as a content creator, where I'll rent out like the plainest studio you can find and I take a bunch of photos of me standing up, sitting down, whatever. Like that's fine, but like what's with the disco ball? I just, from a branding perspective, I don't get it. Yeah, so Hillary is saying they're often encouraged to exhibit that narcissistic behavior by their own coaches, even if they don't actually feel that way. 100%. You're basically told, like, show up more confidently, be loud, be bold, be obnoxious, because that's what people are attracted to. Quit your job and be authentic. It's so easy. Yeah, so Demi, this is a really important point as well. Superiority, that's the word I was looking for. Sense of superiority. Demi says, not gonna lie, people who spew stuff like this do sometimes get to me and make me feel weird about not really wanting to make more of myself and tell my story. I can 100% relate to this because, again, back to when I was in my 9-to-5 job, so 2018 was when I would have quit. So we'll say like 2017. I started to see so many of, again, I was in like all these Facebook groups and stuff. So obviously I was in like a specific portion of the algorithm that was feeding me this stuff. But it was like constant content around this idea of like a purpose greater than yourself, you know, being meant for more. Like, why be in a 9-to-5 job when you have so much potential? And I really fed into that narrative because I was so miserable in the job that I had at that time, that I was like, yeah, you know what? I am meant for more than this. I'm not supposed to just be here being a freaking stupid secretary. No offense to anyone who is a secretary. I'm just role playing here. My mentality from when I was 25. But it was really this idea of like, I'm so much smarter than this. I'm so much better than this. But it's because I was being fed that by these people that I was following in these Facebook groups who were basically like feeding my ego and encouraging me to believe this way. So it is really, really easy, I think, to kind of slip into this mindset, especially when you're being encouraged by your mentors and by people that you look up to behave this way. Space Pastry says, we are meant for more than our jobs, but I don't think coaching is it. Jobs pay the bills. If you're lucky, they can mean more, but I'd rather focus my energies on other areas of my life. 100%. And I think there is the opportunity to have like balance. So, for example, like I mostly make content for a living, primarily like short form videos for brands, that kind of thing, as well as consulting that I do. And that's fun. I enjoy it. I do feel like a sense of purpose, like I'm helping people in the work that I do. But I can also just like turn it off and not tie my identity to like that being my whole personality. And also like people who do have regular jobs, and I say this from like many conversations that have had, they enjoy the fact that they get to go to their job, do their job, be able to afford their lifestyle, and then turn it off on Friday and enjoy their life outside of work. Like your work doesn't have to be your whole life. And I think that when we buy into this narrative that like we are our purpose and everything we have to do must align with this purpose that we have in life, it becomes really dangerous because you kind of lose your identity beyond like what it is you do. I don't know. I don't know if that made sense, but that's kind of how I feel about that. Exactly. They say this, but their whole identity is being a coach and successful. Is that any better? That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. Is like, if you tie your purpose into your work completely, then your ability to feel successful in life is directly tied to how successful you are in your business. And then your whole life and personality and everything revolves around your business. And if it doesn't succeed, what are you left with? Probably not very good things. I work a job that I like because I like it, not because it pays well. It pays well enough to cover my bills and lets me indulge in my hobbies and spoil my rabbit. That's really all I want. 100%. I feel that to my core. Okay, you're dreaming of becoming a life coach. This website is so bad. I am apologizing right now to your retinas. Becoming a life coach to help your clients transform their lives, but you keep waiting for some perfect time to start and keep making excuses. The fact that I can't highlight it to read it better is like a major red flag for me. The time is now. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm so bored. I feel like this is me on every live video. I get like 10 minutes in and I'm like, guys, I'm bored. Okay, it's not just me. Monica says all of this feels repetitive. She is not saying anything new compared to the other coaches. Maybe that's why I'm so bored, because it's like the same sales page I've already read 400 times on this channel. Here's the thing. The reason why these things keep holding you back at square one is not because you're uniquely fucked in your own situation. The reason why these things keep holding you back at square one is not because you're uniquely screwed in your own situation, or that you don't know enough to get started. It's because you've been conditioned by the patriarchal industrialism and capitalistic programming. The irony of these people to complain about capitalism and then to be so focused on being rich and making so much money. I will never understand. I will never understand. I will never understand. Yes, Avery, this website is awful. That is correct. Hillary, I don't know what kind of business we're building. First it's a business, then we're a life coach, then we're a magical unicorn. So I really don't know. Painful. Exactly. The F word in the copy. It gets me every time. Okay, same story. We've been conditioned to get a degree, get a job. Ugh, a job. Ugh, hate it. This no longer dictates how you live. Yeah, you can just live whatever life you want, you know? And make a shit ton of money because capitalism. Hi. Okay, so here we go. Same freaking story. I'm not going to read all this. I just wanted to know about this program. So we're halfway through the sales page and she's just telling me now what we're going to get. So we're going to hone our skills. We're going to create unwavering belief. We're going to build our own program, learn to show up online, and make $5,000 and beyond. Align your mind. Of course. Someone explain this to me. 99% of coaches that I see say that in order to be successful, strategy doesn't matter, tactics don't matter, the skills you have in business don't matter, your belief matters. And while I do abide, or like, what's the word? Like, I do understand and I agree with this idea that mindset is very important when it comes to our success in anything, because if we don't believe we can do something, we're probably not going to take the action to do it. I believe that to be true. But if I don't know what the frig I'm supposed to be doing, it doesn't matter how much I believe in myself. It's never going to happen because I don't know what I'm doing. So I don't understand why these coaches default to, rather than like teaching you tangible strategies, they just say it's all about your belief. Is it because they want to be able to like offload the onus when things don't work out? They can just be like, well, you just didn't believe hard enough. It's not because I didn't teach you anything useful. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Citrus, exactly. Dunks on capitalism while being one of the worst examples of capitalism. 100%. Escape capitalism. Give me your money. Cena, that's exactly, I don't get it. Yeah, okay. So Janaea is saying no one is legally or financially responsible for your mindset. Harrison says because if you second guess the process, it's your mindset, not theirs, and it's always your problem. Yeah. And exactly, Lisa, you can't do it on belief alone, especially when you're a beginner. Like I think back to when I first started my business, I hired my coach thinking she was going to teach me how to actually start a business and then was just teaching me this mindset garbage, which again, sure, it's helpful to an extent, but when it comes to like actually understanding how to operate a business and get clients, it's not really helpful. And it's certainly not worth $5,000, you know? Yeah. That's why you need a coach to help you vibrate at the right frequency. 1,000%. Oh man, this is painful. Okay, so once we learn a better mindset, we are going to learn how to embody our purpose. You aren't just building a career as an in-demand coach. You're here because you felt that tap. You're so much better. You're so much more important than you think you are. And you should start acting as though you're super important because you are magic. Barf. Sovereignty in business. Your business is alive and it wants to partner with you in a way that serves you. Your business is alive. What is happening? Detox from supremacy systems and a neurotypical society. So now we're also targeting people who are neurodivergent. Holy, this sales page is a roller coaster of emotions. Let me tell you that. Create a business on your own terms, or like maybe you could actually teach me how to create any business, would be nice. Design your magical offer. The indecision and spiraling ends here. Walk away with an offer you love and fully believe in. Start working with your first beta clients. Okay. Sales system. Learn exactly what it takes to successfully sell your offer. And then you can finally launch your offer. This is where your offer sees the light of day, known as payday, baby. Create a personalized money-making belief plan and action plan. Okay, so how much is it? Here we go with the angel numbers. 55555. Low price of 55555. Ugh, painful. They teach you how to scam people after they scammed you out of your money. And that's actually a really good point. So that was Nomadic Homebody. Basically, it's like this is the prime example of the copy paste coaching phenomenon that I talk about in literally all of my content, because I can pretty much guarantee you if I sign up for this program, well, she already told me everything she's going to teach me, but this is like what she did. So I'll create some offer. I'm going to pick, instead of secret sauce, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to come up with some other synonym for the word purpose. And I'm going to say, you know, rather than saying embody your secret sauce, it's going to be like, lean into your purpose. I can't think of another word off the top of my head. But you get the idea. And I'm basically just going to copy this. I'm going to make my own 6-module course and I'm going to launch it for 44444 because hers is 55555 and she's ahead of me. So I have to charge a little bit less. And I hate it. If you didn't catch the drift, I hate it here and so should you. 100%. So Marie is saying you've already lost the majority of neurodivergent people by repetition of information and the unreadable website. Yeah, I think that if I was looking to hire a mentor and I saw this light color purple font on a white background, my eyes would start bleeding and I would immediately click away. Pour your secret sauce into your clients. Oh, God. This is so funny. You guys are funny. Thank you, chat, for making this much more enjoyable. Okay, so then we also get monthly live calls, access to a Facebook group. Are people still using Facebook? I only use Facebook to keep in touch with my family. Lifetime access to the Business Activation Academy. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, I got my first client. Oh. You are worthy of true fulfillment and freedom as a coach. Okay. So that kind of gives us at least an idea before we get into the podcast about who this person is, what their offer looks like, etc. So if you missed the start of this, I was going to call it an episode, this live stream, I was inundated with ads for this specific podcast episode. So this woman has a podcast, but she was advertising this individual episode. And here, I'll pull it up. I should have sent it to my computer. Give me a second to, I'll just read it to you rather than airdrop it to myself. But basically, it was like an Instagram story ad. And so I tend to pay pretty close attention to these because I'm always looking for content to react to. But this is what this one said. It said, "My coaching business is about to hit $1 million in total sales revenue. And it's all because 3 years ago, I took 7 simple steps that kickstarted my journey. And right now, I'm sharing them with you for free. Here's what you'll be learning in this podcast episode plus workbook: how to choose your niche as a new coach, how to create your first coaching offer, and how to sell the client transformation even as a new coach." So obviously I was like, okay, let's go to town and see what we can find here. So again, I haven't listened to this podcast episode. Demi's asking if anyone has predictions about the audio quality. I am going to think maybe AirPods, but we'll see. Gym Lesson says 100% chance of having word salad for dinner. Get those word salad emojis out. Members, you have access to that. There it is. Hillary. She lives in La La Land instead of reality. Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't found. Let me see if I can find the workbook, first of all. I didn't even think to download that, but it's probably super necessary. Okay. I don't know. We might be out of luck. Will it be in the description of the episode? Okay, here we go. Free workbook. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, I always use my real name when I mean to use my fake name. What am I doing? Okay, let's see. Oh, now I gotta go to my email inbox. Oh my God. Okay. I need to stop sharing my screen for a second. I'll put myself front and center. Hey guys. I'll BRB while I figure out how to get access to this workbook. Priorities. So many word salad emojis. I love it. If I could figure out how to put you on the screen, I would. But I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let's see. Can I switch here? Oh, look, I have emails from our best friend, Dan Locke. Maybe the promotions folder? No, I don't see it. It didn't send. Boo. Okay, we might be out of luck. We might be workbook free. Something tells me we're not going to need the workbook, but do I get a robe and a wizard's hat when she teaches me magic? Honestly, I hope so. I hope we get something. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here. I'm not even seeing it in my promotions folder. I got some emails from the life coach school, so that's fun. Looks like she's back to coaching about weight loss because the latest email from the life coach school is called End Weight Loss Struggles. Anyways, I digress. Okay, sorry about that. We're back, baby. Let me shrink myself. And hopefully the sound works. So you guys can let me know if you can hear it. But let's go ahead and give it a little listen. Looks like she's back to no sound. Okay. Ay, 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 ay. I wish I knew what I was doing. Ah! Okay, maybe if I go into settings. Okay, here we go. Maybe. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. It's telling me I have to. It's telling me I need to install the system audio DC. Do I have to end this stream and move elsewhere? Okay, hold on. I'm going to click install later. She's messaging me. DC to the rescue. Like when I open it, it's saying activate system audio capture. Okay, hold on, everyone. Please pause. Talk amongst yourselves while DC helps me help. SOS. This is why we don't do this. So I actually I did a like private live stream to myself earlier. Thought that I worked out all the kinks, but I guess not. I guess I didn't do as good of a job as I thought I did. I'm not using OBS. I'm using Ecamm Live, and I don't know what I'm doing. I thought this would be a better experience for everyone, and it's turned into a horrible experience for all of us. Mostly me because I'm stressed. I'm starting to get stressed out and I'm sweating. Oh God. The good news is you didn't miss anything in the first 30 seconds. All she did was introduce herself and talk about how she's going to teach us all to be millionaires. Okay, so maybe I'm just trying to follow DC's instructions. Nope, that didn't work. Huh. It's entertaining. Thank you. At least I've got something going for myself. Okay, I'm gonna keep trying to figure this out while I wait. Okay, she sent me a voice message. 1 second while I mute myself. BRB. It doesn't work. Wait, why? Oh, it's talking to myself. Whoops. 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 I'm doing too many things at once. We are trying our best. And now I'm going to send a sad face. A crying sad face. Okay. If this doesn't work, then I guess oh God, what am I doing? Oh. Sorry everyone. Please bear with me. Let's take a little go get some water if you need it, because I'm feeling overwhelmed. This is too much for me. The chaotic trial by fire is actually part of the fun. The stream isn't horrible. Right now the audio is playing to my AirPods. Like I can hear it through my AirPods. If this doesn't work, I will just end the stream and I will restart a new stream using Restream. Play it from your phone. I think that'll be really annoying though for you guys. Oh, maybe if I click here? Nope, that's sound effects. Can you guys hear the sound effects, by the way? Like, can you hear that? Okay. If that's what the class wants, we can do that. But I feel like it's going to be... Can you play it through your speakers and just pick it up on the mic? Okay. If you guys don't care, we can do it that way. Let me see if I can find it on Apple Podcasts. What's this girl's name? Social Reset. And then after this, I'm going to pay to get DC to teach me how to operate more professionally. I just want to be like DC when I grow up. Okay, when is this from? September 26th. What the hell? Oh my God. This is so annoying. She doesn't... I guess she doesn't upload her feed. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. I lied. I'm a liar. Okay. I'm going to need to figure out a way to keep up with the chat, though. Holy moly. I am so stressed right now. Okay. We're back, baby. Let me just, I think I have this playing. Oh my God. I'm so overwhelmed. Thank you everyone so much for your patience. I appreciate you all. Okay, let me get rid of this tab so you're not seeing the back end of my YouTube. This is like the biggest dumpster fire ever. I'm trying my best, okay? Holy shit, I hate it here. Okay, so I guess you can just stare at me while we listen to this together. Okay? Okay. Hopefully this works. Let me know how it sounds.
I'm your host, Tiffany Chung, your go-to for all things marketing, mindset, and manifestation. I grew
How is that?
my online business from 0 to beyond 6 figures in 8 months. My purpose is to empower women to step into the highest, most aligned versions of themselves. If you are ready to take charge of your life, learn how to design a wildly successful business, and leave limiting beliefs behind, you've come to the right place. You will learn the actionable tips and step-by-step strategies on money, manifestation, and social media. It's time to step into your role as boss, to raise your vibration and tap into your unlimited potential.
DC, you're so smart.
Day. Welcome to the Social Reset Podcast. Hi, everyone. You are in for a treat. This is an incredible episode that we're just about to get to. I'm going to teach you the steps I took to start my own coaching business 3 years ago. I'm about to cross over 7 figures of sales revenue total from the start. And I would not have been able to do it if I did not create and establish these main 7 steps in my business. And once you have these, everything else just becomes so much easier. There was a lot of noise out there in terms of what you need, and you need an email list, and you need all these followers, and you need to have a certification before you start. I'm boiling it down to these 7 things that are going to kickstart your coaching business and anything.
I want you to put your guesses in the chat as to some of the 7 steps. Mindset is absolutely going to be one.
That you do outside of this, whether you do start an email list or, you do end up growing your followers, they'll come after. But I want you to consider you can be a paid coach with the people in your audience right now. Right in this moment, however many followers you have, however many people you know in your life, which I bet is way more than you think, you can start your coaching business with exactly what you have. You don't need to go outside of yourself. You don't need to start thinking about funnels or ads or anything crazy and complicated. You just need these 7 simple steps, your magical brain, and the audience that you already have created. And you get to also meet new people and tell them what you do as a coach and sign them. And it'll be so much easier after you have these 7 essential steps. Let's get into it.
Okay, we're 3 minutes in, and she's repeated that we're going to learn 7 steps over and over again. I just wanted to point that out.
Right now. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Social Reset Podcast. I am here today with a really special episode. We're talking all about designing your magical offer today. So after this episode, you should have a complete coaching offer that you can start marketing and
Thank you,
selling
Lori.
literally today. Like, you can have a paid client by the end of this week. So Let's get into it. Let's talk about who this would be for. So, this is a really great process and episode for someone who desires to be a coach, but doesn't really know how to put together their first offer. They might feel like it's really confusing and they're not sure what they should have versus what they don't need to have yet. I understand that there can sometimes be a lot of noise around what you feel like goes into an offer and also how you're comparing it to other people's offers. So here I am. I'm here to tell you what you actually need that's going to help you sell the offer.
We are 10% through this podcast. So this podcast is 40 minutes long. We are over 4.5 minutes in, and she still has just repeated herself 700 times. So, like, this is painful.
Versus extra things that can come later on. This is also really good for someone who knows what they want to coach on, but they're just looking for a little bit more structure to put together and start marketing it. And this is also for someone who's not completely sure what they want to coach on and wants to put together a more general or vague offer. I have to say, most of us don't completely know what we want to coach on. You might have a good general idea, but it comes much more clear to you once you start working with clients within the offer. And then you can kind of, tighten it and narrow a little bit more based on that experience. All right. So, let's dive in. This is the 7-step, very, very simple.
Is it? It's been 5 minutes. Where's the steps?
Process in creating your magical offer. Now, I also want to direct you to the 7 steps to your magical offer workbook. This is a free downloadable workbook I created to help you follow along with this episode. And if you want, you can print it out. If you download it through the show notes, you actually have a PDF.
Okay, I'm skipping. This is so boring.
Editable, have it along with you. I need perfect branding and a logo. I don't even have a website. I need to spend more time on Canva. I need to have modules and recorded lessons in my offer. You don't need any of that. Not that it wouldn't be useful or not that those things are wrong, but when you're first starting out, especially if this is your brand new offer and you're a new coach, it's easier to keep things really simple, which is why I'm calling this the 7-step simple process. It's because if you just focus on these things and not even think about having a quote unquote, like if you think that you need modules and themes for every single week of the offer to take your clients through, and you can't work with clients until you have a completely built out offer with an agenda for every single session, I actually think that that will restrict you and it'll keep you unpaid, because what is actually going to help you sell the offer and refine your coaching methodology and how you want to coach your clients is just getting more people in front of you to coach. And so even if you don't have a fully built out offer, you just want to sell them on the transformation and get them results. And then you can start building out the offer over time. And if you want, you can add an agenda, certain themes for.
This is horrible advice. Okay, I'm bringing back the mic. I need this for a second. I have talked about this in so much of my content, but one of my biggest pet peeves in the online coaching space is this narrative of don't create the offer until you have someone who's already bought it, is essentially what she's teaching here. And I freaking hate this so much because it seems so like disingenuous. And I think as a business owner, there's so much to be learned from building the actual course. Exactly. Hillary says, you talked about this in your latest interview. Sign people, then make the content you're selling to them. Exactly. It's so, I don't know what about it that like irritates me so much, but it just seems so scammy to sell people on the idea of something before you've even gone ahead and created it, because I think it leaves such a big gap and room for you to not deliver on your promise because you've already been given the money. Like if I charge you $500 for an online course where I claim I'm going to teach you how to become a hairdresser, you already have paid me the $500. So I'm not going to be invested in making sure that it's the best quality content, that my video quality is good, that the audio is great, that the content that I'm actually teaching you is valuable and useful because I've already made the money. Whereas when you put in the effort to build the offer, whether it's an online course, some sort of other product or service that you're selling, I think you're much more likely to put in a lot of effort to make sure that it's a good product if you haven't sold it yet, because you want people to want to buy it and you want to prove that you're selling a good thing, right? So that's just a bit of an aside, but this narrative that gets perpetuated, not just by this individual, but literally everyone in the coaching industry, is so disgusting to me. I hate it.
Each session, but especially if you're coaching one-on-one, like you're just working with one student at a time on Zoom, you don't actually need an agenda. They can just come to you with whatever they want coaching on each session and help them work towards their goals. So you, in reality, you only need to have a Zoom room and to just connect with them and to just coach them. Like you don't need materials or workbooks or resources or agenda or teaching every single session.
AKA, you can just half-ass it. They already paid you, so who cares?
All right, so I just want to share that because I think that gets a lot of us tripped up and really keeps us unpaid and not working with our aligned clients when we think we need all those things when we really don't. All you need is to deliver results to your clients, and that is it. Keeping it really simple is going to benefit you in the long run. All right, so let's start with step number 1. Step number 1 is,
I just want to point out that we're 10 minutes in and we're only getting to step number 1 of a 40-minute podcast. It took us 10 minutes.
Really brainstorming and finding clarity on your concept. So like I mentioned, you don't need to know your niche, exactly what you're coaching on, straight from the start. A lot of you know my story. I started as a social media coach, and I did that for about a year, a little over a year, before I realized what business coaching was. At first, it wasn't really on my social media coach, and through
That's because you didn't have a business. How can you be a business coach if you've never owned a business? Headphone warning.
some of what I was doing in my coaching, I realized what I was actually doing was business coaching. And I realized through coaching tons of different people, including people that weren't really my most aligned, best fit clients, that what lit me up the most, what made me the happiest, was business coaching. And what I want you to focus on is, instead of how can I make the most money, or what niche is going to make me the most money, I want you to really pay attention to what is lighting you up the most, what feels the most fun to you, what
I gotta go back there. I think I misheard that.
feels like focus on is coaching tons of different people, including people that weren't really my most aligned, best fit clients, that what lit me up the most, what made me the happiest, was business coaching. And what I want you to focus on is, instead of how can I make the most money, or
Oh, I thought she said focus on how you can make the most money, but she's saying focus on like what gets you excited. Okay, sorry.
what niche is going to make me the most money, I want you to really pay attention to what is lighting you up the most, what feels the most fun to you, what feels like you're not even working. Like when I work with my clients, I honestly feel like every single time I get to coach them on making more money or tightening up their marketing. And
Yes, the babies is here on the bed. He is sleeping. I was trying to show him earlier, but then he moved. Hold on. If I move. Oh, you can see him. He's like KO'd. Let's take a break and look at the puppy because he's so cute. Why am I not in focus? As if I wasn't having enough technical difficulties. Now my stupid light is in focus. There we go. Okay. I will grab the bubbies. Hi, buddy. Hi. Hi, good morning. Good morning. He's so tired. You can't even see him because he's black. Hi, buddy. Okay. I feel bad trying to wake him up. He's really sleepy. I don't know why, but maybe later he'll come for a little visit.
Being able to convert better on sales calls, it feels like a dream. I love what I do and I can do it and talk about it all day. And I pretty much do. And it's so fun for me because I know that this is my purpose is to help women and women of color build successful, thriving, joyful businesses. That's what I do as a business coach. So I also want to say starting out as a social media coach was part of my journey. So it's okay that you start out with a specific niche and then you realize actually what I want to do is this, right? So you want to just start. You're never going to you're never going to make money and start your business if you're just kind of pondering back and forth because you're going to just want to wait for that perfect right timing. You're just going to have to decide it's the right time and that this is the right offer. And you're just going to have to sell yourself on it. And after you've sold it and you've worked with people within it, then you can decide how you want to either pivot or narrow. A lot of my students start off as a general life coach. They just coach on anything their client brings to them, whether it's relationships or money or setting boundaries or self love or confidence or processing emotions, right? They just allow their clients to bring them a whole plethora of things. And then eventually they discover, okay, I really love coaching on relationships. I am going to narrow to be a relationship coach, right? But you don't know that until you just start and you just start with the offer that you have. So, whatever you feel called towards the most, even if that is a little bit more vague, like general life coaching, just start there.
Even if you have no experience in anything and you don't really know anything at all, just become a life coach because you don't need to know anything to be a life coach. Like, what is she saying?
So you want to decide that as step number one. Just make a decision and move forward with it. Okay. Number two, this is the elevation. Now, when I say the elevation, this is part of a methodology I teach inside Business Activation Academy, which is my flagship signature fundamental course for new coaches. Inside BAA, I teach a methodology called Elevate to Embodied. And what that means is when your students come to you, when your clients come to you, they're looking to elevate into a certain version of themselves. For example, if you're a health coach, or if you're looking to build a health coaching offer or coaching business, you're going to have clients that come to you because they want to elevate certain aspects of their health, right? Maybe they've been having gut issues or they've been dealing with bloating, or maybe they've tried so many diets and they're sick of the diet culture and they want to work with a holistic health coach that
Or go to like a dietitian, maybe?
can really align and customize meal plans and maybe even workout plans for them, whatever you do as a health coach, right? This is just an example. So what it comes down to is your client comes to you because they want to elevate their health journey. Okay. So the embodied version or the embodied zone of the elevate to embodied methodology is when they're done working with you, they've embodied a certain version of themselves. So going back to this health coaching example, when they come to you, they want to elevate in their health journey. And when they're done working with you, they've embodied a healthier version of themselves, right? Meaning that maybe they have more energy in the mornings without having to use caffeine, right? Or maybe they are able to, have a different relationship with food, where in the past they had this really inconsistent relationship with food or very unhealthy relationship with food. And now the way they think about food and the way they interact with food is completely different, right? So that is
So, for those of you that are only listening, Hillary's comment says, "Who needs education when you can just embody someone who has education?" And that's the vibe I'm getting from this entire episode is you just get to decide what you want to be or who you want to be. And the qualifications will come, we'll worry about that later. We don't even need to worry about it actually, honestly, at all.
The embodied version of themselves. So, step two is thinking about the elevation zone. What does your most aligned client want to elevate into? I'll give you an example from my business. So, like I mentioned, I'm a business coach, and the way that I work with my students
A business coach with pretty much very limited experience in business.
in my two main offers, which is Business Activation Academy or my mastermind. This is an advanced room for established coaches ready to create their custom map to six figures and create six figures in their coaching business, right? So, the elevation zone for Business Activation Academy is a brand new coach that is looking to make their first 5K in their business, like 5 to 10K in their business, right? Their first clients, building out their first offer, seeing success in their offer. In my mastermind, the elevation zone are clients that have made 10K, 20K in their business, in their offer, and now they're looking to grow into six figures. They want to make $100,000 a year, if not more. And they want to do that in an advanced room where we talk about advanced marketing and sales trainings and skills. Okay. So you want to ask yourself, where is my aligned client right now? Like, why do they want to elevate? Right. So, for example, someone joining BAA, I have to really ask myself, and I've asked myself hundreds of times, like, why do they want to create their own coaching business? And
Anastasia, capitalism is only the enemy after we become millionaires, okay?
typically I work with students who they want to leave corporate or they want to leave their day job that's no longer serving them. They don't feel valued. They are not making the money they want
Bless
to
you.
make. They feel very underappreciated. There's normally a whole list of reasons, or they thought that this was going to be fulfilling for them, but they realized it really wasn't. And they have so many incredible skills that they want to have sovereignty and autonomy over, and they get to do that in their own coaching business where they can charge what they want, they can work with who they want, and that is a level of freedom that they want to have in their life, right? So it isn't just about they want to create an offer and learn to market and sell, it's they want to create a level of freedom in their life that they currently don't have. So you
Yeah, so her program is BAA. It's $5,555 and it's for people who want to start their business. So her like entry level offer is over $5,000. Just to be clear.
want to get to the root of why your clients want to work with you. And when you speak to them about that, they're literally going to think you're reading their mind, and they're going to want to work with you because you're showing them their brain and their desires in a way that is so powerful. So you also want to ask yourself, what do they think is the process of getting to their results? And what does it actually look like instead? So this might be something that comes further down the road after you've been marketing for a while, after you've worked with a couple of students, but this is a really great thing to start thinking about, right? So for example, in
We'll look at the mastermind after.
my business, for students that join me in BAA, sometimes what they think they need in order to make sales in their new coaching business is they need to have a really big audience online, and in order to sell, they need to have all these followers. And
Okay, she's going to go into a spiel, I'm sure, about how this isn't true and you can be successful with only 10 friends on social media. And quite frankly, that is not true. Unless you are super lucky and you have one video that happens to go viral and you've formatted it in a way where it funnels to some sort of paid program, the majority of people are not going to make a lot of money or be super successful financially if they don't have a large social media platform or the understanding on how to build a large social media platform. I cannot really think of any quote unquote like financially successful person who has only like 200 followers on Instagram. It's just not the reality
And what is the
in this
actual
industry.
scenario in this case is they don't actually need tons and tons of followers. You can have a lot of followers and not make a lot of sales. I would know this because I was a content creator for years and I grew my audience to 60,000 followers organically. And I never made a single sale from my audience. And when I started my coaching business, that is when I started seeing sales because I wasn't selling and I didn't have, the aligned, people in my audience, et cetera, et cetera. So the people that want to buy from you doesn't need to be in the thousands in your audience. You have people right now in your audience that want to buy from you. I would really work on entertaining that thought that you all
Yeah, Bubba told me he was bored. That's why he went to sleep. He said, Mom, this is so boring. I can't.
already have people in your sphere, whether it's 1 degree removed, like for example, your coworker's friend or your friend's older sister, or a friend of a friend that is interested in your coaching service. Okay. So that's just one example of how sometimes we think we need something, but that's not actually the case, right? You don't actually need thousands of followers in order to have a successful coaching business. You can start with who you have right now and you
Target your friends and family, just like Harrison said.
learn how to attract more aligned clients into your audience, but it doesn't need to be in the thousands. In fact, I know many people who have a 7-figure business and they just have several hundred followers, nothing crazy, right? So that's
Who are these people? Tell me their names, show me their profiles. I don't believe it.
really important. And then number 3 is the embodied zone. So we talked about the elevation zone, which is where your clients want to elevate into. What is the problem they want to solve? What is the issue they're struggling with? What is the person they want to become? And then you want to talk about the embodied zone, right? So, what do they want to embody? What are the results they want to have after they're done working with you? How do they want to feel? What results are they looking for? What does it look like to get them to this state? If they started at this version of themselves that maybe didn't have confidence and wasn't really great at speaking up for themselves or setting boundaries, say you're a life coach, that this is some of the things that you coach on, then at the embodied level, they're able to maybe ask for a raise at work. Maybe they're able to set a boundary with their mother, right? Like these are the things that they would walk away with. It would just be
If you are struggling with boundaries, please do not hire a life coach. Please go to therapy.
the flipped opposite of what they aren't able to do in the beginning. And you want to be able to speak to this, especially in your marketing, because that's why people want to buy, right? Even if you have like a 5-step process that helps them get to this result, they're not necessarily always interested in that. They just want to hear, oh, this is a person who can get me this result done. I'm in. Right. So this is where you want to gain most of your clarity is what are the results they are looking for. All right. Step number 4 is for you. It's
I must have blacked out because I missed steps 2 and 3.
more of an internal question to answer is what is your why? Like what is the reason you're doing this and why do you think this work is so important? Of course, you can talk about this in your content and in your marketing and it'll really help your people understand a little more about who you are. But I really want you to answer this for yourself. You might already have an answer. You likely already have an answer in your head. But I want you, especially since I am a spiritual business coach, I talk a lot about magic. In fact, my advanced mastermind.
I feel like every 30 seconds she adds a new title. I was a life coach, and then I was a social media coach. Then I was a business coach. A spiritual business coach. Next, she's going to be like, I'm a spiritual, magical, multi 7-figure business coach.
Offer is called Magic Mind. I work with spiritual, spirit led business owners who want to make decisions from their intuition. And all of my students believe that their business is an extension of their soul's purpose. They're not just doing it because they feel like they should, or because someone told them they should, or all of these different reasons that maybe we go into finding jobs. We start these businesses, my students start these businesses.
We probably find jobs because we live in a world where bills pay. Like, what?
Because it's connected to their soul's purpose and the way they want to serve their most aligned clients. So I want you to connect with your why. Why are you doing this? Why do you feel like this service, this program needs to exist in the world? How does it raise the vibration of the world?
She really is, which, by the way, Lindsay made an amazing drawing of our last stream on Wednesday. Incredible. I'll share it to my community tab after this. I know I said I was going to do that the other day, but I have the memory of a goldfish. So I will try to remember this time, but if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Right? How do I want my offer to look different than the other offers that are available right now? How do I add my own twist, my own frequency, my own flavor into it? And all that means is just you showing up as your most authentic self, right? The version of you that is your truest self. And you also want to ask, why me? I believe that every offer has a spirit and every business has a spirit, and that spirit chose you to bring it into the physical 3D realm because as a spirit, it isn't able to do that on its own. So you are in co creation with that spirit in order to bring it to life and make sure that other people get to access your magic. All right, step number 5.
I'm
we're
on it.
almost done. Number 5 is remembering who this is for. Now, like I said in the beginning of this episode, you don't have to be extremely clear on your most aligned client.
Yeah, this is an interesting point. So, Nomadic Homebody says, I think they add spiritual to their title to bypass the lack of qualifications. And I would have to agree because I think when you state that anything is spiritual, you can just say that you're like channeling your knowledge from a higher power. And it's basically like a cop out. So, I think you're onto something with that assumption.
Because that's something that's going to reveal itself more and more and more as you just start coaching people. So you don't need to be clear on who your most aligned client is before you start selling to them. You just want to start coaching. You want to have your step number 1, which is your concept, your niche that you're going to stick to for now, your secret sauce, as I call it in BAA. But you do want to be thinking about, okay, so now that I've thought about the elevation zone, now that I've thought about the embodied zone, the person that they are when they come to me versus the person they want to be when they're done working with me, who is the best person to receive this transformation? Like if someone were to go through this process, who would be the best person to actually get results from my coaching, right? So
it's probably whoever you were 6 months ago because you always just want to coach someone who's just a couple steps behind where you are now.
I gave
maybe I should start a podcast.
The example of a health coach earlier. The best, most aligned client would be someone who is ready to take these actions in their health journey. This is someone who is coachable. This is someone who is committed. This is someone who is determined and ready to take the necessary steps in order to improve their health, right? So that might be someone who's in their 20s to 30s. This might be someone who is just learning about their more holistic health alternatives. And
single moms, can't forget about the single moms and dads. If we were on last week's stream, it's always the single moms and dads that we want to go for.
Options, right? I gave also an example of a general life coach who coaches on confidence, setting boundaries. So the person who would be a most aligned fit might be a woman who is, lacking boundaries. Maybe she puts everyone else before herself, or everyone's needs before herself. Maybe this is a mom or a working professional who, just doesn't have a very strong self esteem and doesn't completely love themselves, right? So, this is the kind of person that you would want to
Target the people who hate themselves. Those are the people that you can get the most money out of.
attract in order to help them really gain those results. So you want to think about, where is my aligned client currently at? What thoughts do they have? Again, this would be really great to jot all of these thoughts down in the downloadable workbook that's in the show notes. That is the 7 steps to creating your magical offer. So if you print that out, or if you click the download, you can edit it on your laptop, and you can write out all of the thoughts that your aligned client is thinking. Now, you just want to take an assumption.
So normally they aren't as direct in saying this. Like, I'm actually a little bit shocked that she's so openly saying, essentially, like, pick the most vulnerable people, because most of them kind of like beat around the bush and they're like, maybe you could pick someone who is a little bit upset in their job. But this lady's like, nope, just pick the people who hate everything and target them and figure out what their deepest, darkest thoughts are. And you're going to speak to those.
Right? You just want to think like, okay, if they're a person who's struggling with this and they're looking for that, what are they thinking about themselves? Write all of those down. This is going to be really great for your marketing in the future. Then you want to ask yourself, what is possible in their lives when they receive that end transformation? So, if, for example, you are the life coach helping your client create more confidence and set boundaries in her life, maybe this helps her to.
Okay, I just want to speak to Marie's comment here. She says, I've listened to it all, but I'm still remembering nothing about what she said. I thought it was just me. I was like, is my brain broken today? Because I don't even know anything she's said so far. But I just think she's not being coherent, so it's really hard to listen.
Stop attracting people in her life that are just not a good fit. Maybe this means she ends up attracting her partner, her aligned friends. Maybe she even has a better relationship with her mom because there are boundaries in place to help them create a healthier relationship, right? Those possibilities are so endless. Um, and then what do they need to understand in order to experience the transformation? All right. And then step six is
I missed step 5.
delivering your offer. So this is just where you want to decide how you want your offer to look. This is just more of the technical stuff. So
Oh, finally, actual tangible advice. The second to last step is something that might actually be useful.
most of you are going to be starting with a one-on-one offer, and that's actually something I really highly recommend, unless you have lots of experience teaching this, maybe in a day job that you've had, or as a side hustle, or maybe this is something you majored in. But for most coaches, I would recommend working with people one-on-one. It's honestly just easier. It's easier to sell one person at a time on one-on-one sessions than selling it to like 10 people all at once for a group program, and having them all in one container. It's just easier to start with one-on-one, and it really helps you to deep dive and to really examine your own coaching and take inventory of what your clients are coming to you with. And it's easier to track that one-on-one than with an entire group of people, especially if you're not able to get to everybody in the group. It helps you to really focus and zoom in on your one-on-one clients' needs and really track their results and how they're doing before you bring this into a group setting. So that's my personal opinion. Again, if you've
Thank you, Hillary. Thank you for that.
had lots of experience in this, or you have you've done this in some capacity. I know I've worked with therapists that have become coaches, and they've taught and led group therapy sessions and workshops, and they've worked with tons of different clients. At that point, they're ready to do a group program if that's what they desire, or put together a course or a program. But for most of us, one on one would give us really great clarity, especially if you're not exactly sure what you want to coach on. Because in a group setting, that niche is clear. You're focusing on one thing for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months at a time, and you're not able to change it. If you're working one on one with students and you discover that you want to coach on something a little bit more focused, you don't even really need to make any major changes. The next client you sell can be your new niche, right? So it allows you a little bit more room and sovereignty.
Wait. I stopped listening for a second. Did she just say that you pick a niche, you coach one person on it, then if you change your mind, you want to go into another niche, you just pick a different client and sell them on your new offer? Is that what she said? So like let's just put this into perspective. Let's pretend that I want to call myself a life coach, a relationship coach. So I'm going to teach people how to get into relationships. I get a client, I'm coaching them about how to be in a relationship, and then I'm like, you know what, this is boring. I'm going to be a weight loss coach. Then my next client, I then recruit under the guise of me being a weight loss coach. Then I decide I'm going to be a business coach. So then my third client, I sell on a business coaching program. I just get to choose every other day if I want to be a new kind of coach. Is that what she's saying? I was only half listening, so let me know if I heard that wrong.
As you're building out your coaching business without being really tied down into one topic, if that's still something that you're discovering. Okay. So you just want to decide, how are you delivering this offer? What do you want it to look like? How many sessions are you going to offer? Is this going to be on Zoom? So it might help to start at this point setting up a Zoom account,
Ooh, I'm excited to get
setting
to
up
step 7.
a
Pricing.
scheduling
My favorite.
platform with Calendly or Acuity or Schedulicity. There are so many different ones now, to start offering consult calls. So that's a really good way to book people into your program. You want a Zoom account. You maybe want to create an email for your business so you can start communicating with clients back and forth. So this is just some of the more technical stuff that you want to set up as you're building out your offer. And then step number 7, this is the last step. We made it all the way to the end. Step 7 is pricing your offer. So, if you are that brand new coach that hasn't worked with clients before, I believe that coaching is so incredibly valuable. And what you offer to your clients is just
Drop your guesses. What's she going to tell us? What is the magic secret number she's going to tell us? Always price everything in a 777.
incredible. It is priceless. It is so valuable to work with a
Is it though? Is it? Is it actually priceless and valuable? You don't even know me.
coach. I would start at $100 an hour, and you typically want to have 1 hour sessions.
What? Okay. Did I hear this correct? She's saying all beginners should start at $100 an hour. That statement to me proves how out of touch the people in this industry are with the real world. Do you know how many professions pay $100 an hour? Very few. And the ones that do require a lot of education and experience to reach a point where you get paid $100 an hour. I'm sorry, but no, that's a no from me.
Weekly when you first start. That way, there's not too much time in between the sessions. You're really able to track your clients' progress and results. You are able to really build up that capacity to coach. I know in the beginning, when I first started my coaching business, I had so much mind drama on coaching my students and getting them results. And it was really scary for me. And I had so many thoughts about it. And I was so anxious and nervous. And now I could coach in my sleep, I can coach for hours, and it's not draining to me just because I have so many years of experience and hundreds of students and clients that I've worked with up until this point. So in the very beginning, you really want to you want to build that up. So you want to be coaching weekly, and you want to charge at least $100 an hour. If that still feels like a lot to you, then maybe start at 75 per session, and then charge it as an entire package. So for example,
This just goes to show, in my opinion, how little the understanding is in this space about running an actual business. So when you're focused on time for a business lesson with Danielle, when you're focused on pricing structure in your business, there are a number of different factors you have to take into account. So you need to account for your overhead costs, so how much it actually costs you to run your business, any associated fees with delivering the service directly, and then what your actual time is valued at. And so just deciding that you're worth $100 an hour doesn't really make sense, especially when you're just starting out and you don't necessarily have the skills or the experience to be able to give people a return on that. So let's say, me, for example, I am doing consulting for a business that wants to increase revenue in their business. I might charge $100 an hour on the promise that the return they're going to get in terms of sales in their business is going to be worth more than $100. To just wake up one day and decide you're going to be a life coach, a relationship coach, a spiritual coach, a business coach, and that you're going to charge $100 an hour, it doesn't really compute when you don't have the skills or the experience to be doing so. I see lots of people in the chat saying, like, I pay my therapist over $100 an hour. Like, that makes sense. That person has the skills and the experience to do so. This just, again, goes to show that these people don't understand the factors that go into pricing. And it really just makes me so mad.
Example, if you are doing 6 sessions total, then that is a $600 package, and your client pays in full, or they pay in a payment plan. Um, and you get that payment before you start working together. That's something that you'll decide on the consult call, and then we'll move forward
So
working
dumb.
together in that capacity, working together weekly for those 6 sessions. So that's really how I want you to think about it. The only thing I want to add here about pricing is the only time that I would encourage a student to price and offer lower is if you're having a really hard time wrapping your head around a higher price point. Like if this is the most money you've ever charged and it feels really, really uncomfortable. You're having so many thoughts about it. You're having to coach yourself so much or ask for coaching so much on this pricing, and you feel like going back and forth almost every single week about your pricing. Then I would encourage you to just bring it down a little bit so that you feel really confident.
Here's a thought. Maybe people are feeling self conscious about how much they're charging because they're not actually qualified to be charging that price.
Sharing your pricing on consult calls, and you're not discounting the price or lowering the price every time you get to sharing the price on a consult call, on a sales call. You want to stick to a price that you feel is a no-brainer for your service and that you can get behind. All right. And I know sometimes when we first start coaching as a new coach, it can feel kind of daunting to set your price, especially at a price you've never charged before, or maybe you've charged for services before, but this is the first time you're doing it for yourself individually in your own coaching business, and your thoughts and your self confidence just haven't caught up to that yet.
So just brainwash yourself into thinking that you're worth it.
That is the only time that I would ever tell you to lower it just a little bit so that you can sell with confidence. And when you do that, you get more clients in the door, more demand, and then it's easier for you to raise your prices at that point. Okay? And if you need more support on this, BAA, Business Activation Academy, is my fundamental course for all new coaches. So after you've built out this offer and you've downloaded the workbook that's in the show notes, your next step is to join us inside Business Activation Academy.
Don't do it.
We have 6 incredible modules that are simple.
I'm just going to pause it for a sec while I reconfigure my setup since our fluffy friend has left us. Okay, I can turn off this webcam. That was, oh no, I lost it. I'll worry about that. We'll get back to the podcast.
And easy to move through with some of their own individual workbooks for some of the lessons to really help you discover who you're coaching with, how.
Bubba. Bubba. Come here. Stop barking. Sorry about that. We're back.
How to market your offer, how to sell on consult calls, and how to essentially start up a successful coaching business. Now that you have your offer, you want to make sure you know how to market and sell to the right audience. And even the small technical things like setting up your consult call, some of the tech things, as well as what do you do on a sales call? Like, you have someone in front of you that's ready to learn more about your offer and you have no idea what to say. Module 5 is the BAA sales system, and it is an entire lesson. I have lessons in here that teach you exactly how to sell on a sales call from beginning to end, and you get to make it your own based on your offer and your clients. I teach you exactly how to conduct a successful sales call so that by the end of the call, your client is in, they say yes, and you're sending them the invoice and you're getting paid. You are a paid coach. I have done hundreds of sales calls and I have learned how to master the sales call conversation that really helps your student feel confident and comfortable to buy from you.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Hillary's comment here says, love how there's no discussion on how to actually do the coaching, just on selling it. I think all too often, and this is like my biggest gripe with the industry, is they make it sound so simple, like you can be a coach, you just follow these 5 steps, you can have your own coaching business. But there's never any indication on what coaching is, what coaching should look like, what these programs that they're encouraging you to create should look like. It's simply just build the offer, or don't even build the offer, create the idea of an offer, sell it to people for $100 an hour. Then later you'll worry about like what you're actually going to teach them. So icky.
And really helps them understand and clarify what the work is that you two will be doing together. So that is such an incredible, it's still the same sales call I run if I offer consult calls, which I don't offer public consult calls in my business. I haven't for years now, but in my mastermind
for years. She started her business in 2020.
I will hop on a sales call and I will chat with them. I still use this to this day. And my business is about to cross $1 million in sales revenue total since 2020. And so I back this sales system and this consult call training 100%. Some of my students have reached beyond 6 figures, even multi 6 figures, learning how to sell.
Some of my students.
This module. All right. I also teach you how to navigate objections when they say things like, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I need to think about it, right? You really get to show up with confidence and continue to sell them on why your offer is the thing that is going to essentially change their life. So There are multiple lessons inside the sales call module, including how to do a sales call evaluation. So many coaches are jumping on sales calls, getting no's after no's after no's, and not really knowing what's happening. Right? Most of the time, is
I'll tell you what's happening. You aren't qualified to be teaching on whatever you're teaching about. You get on a sales call with someone and they can see right through your BS.
just one little tweak that helps you to understand, oh, this is what's happening. And once you're able to tweak that, then you start getting those yeses that are flooding in, and you continue to sell to your aligned clients in a way that is successful and have the highest conversion rates that you will see in your business. All right. So this is everything you get inside BAA. Module 1 is the mindset work to really help you align your thoughts to creating money and receiving sales.
So, to be clear, the 7 steps she went over in this podcast are the 7 modules of her program.
Module 2 is your secret sauce. So if you're unsure of what you want to coach on, Module 2 will be so great for you to help you pull out of your brain your magic and what you are good at. There is an entire workshop in there that has created mind-blowing breakthroughs for so many of my students that didn't even realize that there was a specific genius inside them, because sometimes we just don't see it. So that module really helps you get clear on exactly the coach that you are meant to be. And then, of course, there is more information on building out your offer, establishing your coaching process, pricing your offer and when to raise your prices, how to work with beta clients, the entire sales system, and launching your offer. So if you're a brand new coach, this is the
Buy my
place
program.
to be. You also get access to a private Facebook group community where you can ask questions anytime and receive support from a community of coaches that have made so much money in their coaching business that now they're
So much
joining me in
money.
the advanced room to grow into 6 figures. You also get 2 live coaching calls with me every single month. So bi-weekly, every other week, I am coaching inside BAA. So if you need some personalized feedback and coaching, maybe you've built out your offer and you're ready to start marketing and selling, and you really want coaching on how you're delivering, or maybe you had a couple no's on consult calls and you're not sure why, you want to bring that to the coaching.
Yeah, Shelby. So if you want to be a coach, but you have no idea what you're good at, buy her coaching to find out what you can coach others in. Except she's not actually going to teach you how to do the coaching piece. She's just going to teach you how to sell the coaching. So I guess you hire her to build a coaching business. Coaching about what? I don't know. And you're never going to know.
And get coached by me. I lead these calls twice a month to make sure that you are getting the personal support you need in your coaching business. And Business Activation Academy is honestly the best place for brand new coaches that are building a coaching business, especially if you are spiritual, if you are spirit led, if you are
Don't do
all about
it.
magic and manifestation and working on your mindset. This is an incredible community to be a part of. Everyone here is like family to one another. The support is unmatched on these calls. Whenever someone books a new client, we're all jumping in and going, congratulations, that's amazing. And whenever someone needs support,
Join our community, because when you do something, I will tell you congratulations. Dear anyone in the chat, if you ever accomplish anything in your life, put it in the chat and I will wish you congratulations. And then you owe me $5,000.
and coaching, if they're stuck on something, we're also holding space for you, coaching you on it, asking you questions, and offering our support so that you can start making money. All right. The link to Business Activation Academy is inside the show notes. The workbook that I've been mentioning throughout this episode is also there as well. I recommend you to really sit down and carve out time to build out this offer. And as you are marketing and selling and growing your coaching business into a successful empire where you get to build out your vision for your aligned community, I invite you to join us inside Business Activation Academy, where so many students have booked not only their first clients, but building up to their first 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K, beyond in sales revenue.
Well, my clients have made $1, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $35, $40, $45, $50, 55, 60. That's what that felt like to me.
As a coach, and what better opportunity and community than to be in a room full of coaches who are able to coach you, and you get to receive coaching as a new coach. I honestly think one of the best ways I've been able to sell coaching and become a better coach in the beginning of my business was because I invested to be coached by my business coach.
Here it is.
And really,
the only way to be successful is to pay me to teach you how to be successful. And the successful people are the ones that pay for people to tell them how to be successful.
Receive the coaching I needed
Bullshit.
to learn how to be a better coach for my students. So this is a community where we're focused on getting you paid as a new coach, establishing your coaching process, and really helping you build out your offer, marketing and selling it online, and starting up your successful coaching business. Like I mentioned before, I know so many of you are going into building your coaching business because you want more freedom in your life. You want more joy in your life. You want more time freedom to be with your kids. Imagine what it would look like to have the time freedom you want, set the schedule that you want, work with the clients that you love working with to a point where it doesn't even feel like work, and be able to support your family or to give back to your parents or your community, and be able to live the life that you desire with the financial.
Gross that she's using that, not that, like, I think it's important to give back to your family and people that have supported you, but it's gross that she's using it as a way to manipulate you.
And time freedom that you've always deserved. This is a simple 6-module system inside BAA that helps you create that, on top of the live coaching calls where I will coach you on anything you want to get coached on. So you have all the support you need in order to become a paid coach in literally as...
Did you hear that? She said she can coach you in anything you want to be coached on. What is happening?
As a month. I think that was the quickest time frame that one of my students started making money as a new coach, was within a month. And for another one of my students, it was 3 months, and they're already making incredible strides in their business, and creating 5K months, and signing their first 4-figure client, and learning to raise their prices, and being in a room where everyone is an ambitious, magical, spiritual coach is so empowering. So I invite you to join us inside Business Activation Academy. The link is in the show notes. And if you have any questions at all, you can DM me on Instagram.
We're not going to do that. We don't have any questions. Ay, that was very painful. Okay. How's everyone feeling after that? I see. Absolutely do not take a shot every time she says coach. We would be needing medical assistance, I think, if we did that. Yeah, exactly. We'll be on the floor. Okay, so let's take a quick little scroll through her PDF, which I kind of already showed you. And most of you, I think, have already looked at this, but let's just have a little looky-loo. So the 7 steps to starting your business. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to give you a big nothing. Choose your niche. Okay. And then she's asking questions. This is like stereotypical, same thing we see all of these coaches do. In fact, I think I used to have a PDF like this that I used to share. The elevation zone. When you think about your niche, what are they looking to elevate from? Why do we have to do this? This is like very common business practice. Like, yes, you should know your niche. Yes, you should know what the problem is that you solve. But why do we have to use like fluffy terms to determine that? Why can't we just say what we mean? Okay, and then how do you solve the problem for them? Why do you want to do this? Who is your You should know who your ideal client is before you start figuring out what problems they have and what you solve for them. How are you going to deliver your offer? How are you going to price your offer? Okay, that was boring. Glad we wasted 30 seconds looking at that. Exactly. The whole point of that podcast was manifest and charge $100 an hour. Absolutely correct. That is what I took away. Okay. I want to. Is this a drum roll? Next, we're going to look at something else. That was fun. Okay, I like these little built-in sound effects. Okay, we're having fun here. I'm having fun anyway. Let me get this back to regular view. And we'll see if I can figure this out. Wait, is it on? Whoops. Whoa. I wanted to show you another individual. Again, for the record, nothing I share on this channel is really about anyone in particular. These people are merely examples of the copy-paste carbon copies that are all over the internet. They're all the same, in my opinion. But basically, I've been on this other individual's email list for quite some time now. And I think she really is an example of the same people that we see time and time again in this industry. And she literally is offering a course currently that mirrors exactly what we just spent the last hour listening to. So I thought it would be important to also bring her up in today's stream before we move on to nothing, before we say goodbye. So, sorry, I'm just pulling the chat back up on my phone so I can keep up with y'all. Okay, so this individual has supposedly taught over 1,000 service providers, coaches, and experts how to create their first online course inside her paid live challenge. So basically, she's running this. Whoops. Whoa. That's not what I meant to do. I'm trying to move this tab. There we go. She's running this like 3-day challenge to teach you how to start an online course. So even if you feel tech challenged, have no experience creating a digital product, or don't have a clear course idea nailed down, we'll guide you step by step. Again, it's identical to the podcast we just listened to. Even if you don't know what you're the expert at, even if you're the expert in nothing, we can help you make an online course about it. Whoa. Okay. Sorry about that. So the next paid to create challenge, 3-day live experience, starts in 6 days. So I think she said it started October 31st. That's what I read in the email. But basically, I thought we would watch. I guess we can't watch the video together because I can't share my sound. I don't know if she says anything of value anyway. Oh, there's no sound.
And I am so excited that you guys are me for the paid to create challenge. So
Perfect. Okay. All she was saying is follow my program and I'll teach you how to build an online course. So you didn't miss much. So inside this live 3-day challenge, I'll walk you step by step through how to pre-sell your online course and get your first paying student enrolled. Let me move my big fat head. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. With the initial cash injection, you'll get paid to create the content with your beta, aka founding students, skip the overwhelm and wasted time or money. So basically, the process she's going to teach you, and we'll go to the sales page where it'll actually show us this, is come up with the concept for a course, sell the idea to people. Again, sell the product before you've built it. Use that money to then create the course. That's what she's going to teach us. So let's click. So here we go. For context, our 1,000 plus alumni on average, this is the best part, have valued their experience between $55 to $500. So her students who have graduated from this program, over 1,000 people collectively, only value what she has to offer between $50 and $500. That's what they think it's worth. That being said, you get to choose the investment. So she has this opportunity right now where you can pick how much you want to pay. And so basically it's a 3-day training with Q&A that starts next week. And then after the live trainings, you'll have access to the replay for 24 hours. And then she goes live daily for 2 hours, I think. And then you can again watch the replay for up to 24 hours. So you have the live trainings and then you have Zoom meetings. Or sorry, no, it's the same thing. Sorry. So the live trainings happen in Zoom for 2 hours every day for 3 days. And then you get access to a community of people in a Facebook group, blah, 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 blah. Now, where did I read? Maybe I skipped it on the sales page. But I know I read somewhere that said, like, this is what you're going to do. One sec, I just got to let the dog out. What happened? So day 1, you're going to clarify your course topic and outline your course. Day 2, you're going to set up your checkout page. And then day 3, you're going to pre-sell and enroll beta students for your course, which is going to be the money you're going to use to fund actually building the course. I don't like it. I just wanted to show you that because I thought it was really funny that it's literally the exact same thing we just spent the last 2 hours talking about. I also wonder, I see Citrus's comment wondering if it's a live training or not. I was just thinking that, like, is this going to be one of those pre-recorded webinars that they're selling as real? But because it's happening in Zoom, I'm thinking it's live. But I don't know if there's maybe a way to like fake a live training in Zoom, if anyone knows. So that's the gist of that. So I'm thinking maybe I'll sign up for $10, but I'm also out of office next week. So I'm like, I don't know if I'll be able to attend the trainings, but I think this could be an interesting video. I mean, I'm sure they're a dime a dozen. So if I miss this one, we'll do it next time. So then she says her offer, you know, if you pay for the VIP, which is an extra $200, you get all these bonuses. Like, whatever. I just thought that was interesting and that we could talk, or I would share it with you. I think that's it though. I think that is it. That is all for today. So congratulations. I appreciate you all for your patience this evening. It's been a struggle. We're trying our best. Yeah, similar poses, same style of comments. The testimonials look the same. That's why I don't really think it matters who these people are or what their name is, because they all sound the same. They all look the same. They all are the same, in my opinion. It's just... Nomadic Homebody is asking, is this what they teach in MRR? It's all the same content. So the Master Resale Rights program is supposedly an online course that teaches you about digital products in general, like how to create a digital product, how to sell it. So I guess the content would be fairly similar, but really I don't think anyone's buying the MRR course, or at least I have yet to see anyone who buys the MRR course with the intention of actually selling their own digital product, so much as just selling other people on the MRR. So annoying. Yeah, I'm sure those bonuses are worth $1,000 for sure. So, everyone, last week we learned that if you want to become a millionaire, you just got to add a 0 to your bank account. And this week we learned that if you want to become a millionaire, just manifest it. So, who knows what's in store for next week? But I hope you had fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And again, technical difficulties. It can only get better from here, right? So take care. Comb your hair. I have no outro today because I don't know how this program works. So that's going to be it for today. I'll see you